Is your clothing really speaking for you? Or is it being judged in silence? There are men who aren't ignored. They aren't rejected. They aren't criticized. Something worse happens. They're silently underestimated. No one tells them anything. No one corrects them. But opportunities pass them by. Today we're going to talk about image mistakes that don't make you look bad, but that make you lose respect without you realizing it. Mistakes that have nothing to do with fashion, but with real consequences. Point 3, too casual. When your image says, "Don't take me that seriously." This mistake doesn't look like obvious carelessness. That's why it's so dangerous. The overly casual man usually looks neat, clean, and comfortable. There's nothing objectively wrong. The problem is the implicit message that leaks through low investment in the situation. And the social brain is ruthless with that. Excessive casualness communicates that the context doesn't deserve extra effort. It doesn't matter if that's not your intention. Perception works the same way. When an image looks too relaxed, the environment interprets lack of commitment, not approachability. And where there's lack of commitment, respect pulls back. Another common example is excessive comfort in mixed contexts. Meetings where some people dress with structure and others go overly casual. The casual man doesn't stand out as creative. He stands out as misaligned. His image doesn't match the level of responsibility of the space. He looks out of tune, and the one who's out of tune rarely leads. The mistake worsens when casualness is combined with premature confidence gestures. Hands in pockets, overly relaxed posture, expansive movements. Everything reinforces the reading of, "This isn't that important to me." And when someone appears not to take something seriously, the environment responds in kind. This point is especially relevant in hiring processes, promotions, or professional first impressions. No one will tell you, "You look too casual." They'll simply place you at a lower level of responsibility. You'll get smaller tasks. You'll be seen as not yet. Casualness isn't the problem in itself. The problem is failing to calibrate it. A man with strong presence understands that clothing must show respect for the context before showing personal comfort. He adjusts his image to prove he understands the game. He doesn't costume himself. He aligns. There's a huge difference between looking relaxed and looking disengaged. The first communicates calm. The second communicates lack of focus. And the social brain never confuses the two. Point 2. Too rigid. When your image creates distance instead of respect. This mistake is often made by the man who wants to do it right, the one who understands that image matters and decides to play it safe by reinforcing structure, formality, and correctness. The problem is that when that structure is exaggerated or used out of context, the message completely changes. What was meant to be authority becomes rigidity. And rigidity doesn't generate respect. It generates distance. The overly rigid man doesn't look badly dressed. He looks tense. His image appears armored, closed off, inflexible. The social brain doesn't read him as solid, but as defensive. An excessive defense always triggers silent distrust. This mistake is also very visible in presentation videos, podcasts, or recorded professional meetings. Just compare. A man with moderate structure looks firm and approachable. The overly rigid one looks like he's taking an exam. His image doesn't support the conversation, it stiffens it. The body seems constrained by the clothes instead of supported by them. Excessive rigidity communicates fear of losing control. And fear never projects real authority. The man doesn't look like someone who dominates the situation, but like someone trying to protect himself from it. That reading happens without words. No one verbalizes it, but everyone feels it. This mistake also affects career opportunities. The rigid man is rarely rejected outright. He's usually passed over for roles that require interaction, flexible leadership, or human decision-making. He's seen as competent, but hard to integrate. And in the real world, that limits you far more than it seems. Visual rigidity also shows up in small details. Collars buttoned too tight, excessive layers of structure, total absence of controlled relaxation. Everything communicates one thing: tension, and tension doesn't inspire trust. A man with strong presence understands that authority doesn't need to be exaggerated. It holds itself with calm. He uses structure but softens it. He keeps clear lines but lets the image breathe. His clothing doesn't look like armor. It looks like a tool. The difference between structure and rigidity is subtle, but decisive. Structure organizes. Rigidity blocks. One opens doors. The other closes them without anyone saying a word. When your image feels too hard for the environment, the message received isn't respect, it's distance. And distance is a silent form of exclusion. Point 1. Poor fit. When clothing doesn't follow your body. This is one of the most widespread mistakes and, at the same time, one of the least understood. It has nothing to do with fashion, personal style, or following trends. It has to do with something far more basic: how clothing rests on your body. When the fit fails, the image loses structure. And when structure fails, presence weakens, even if everything else is correct. A man with poor fit doesn't look sloppy. He doesn't look badly dressed either. He looks imprecise. The clothes seem to be just passing through the body without integrating with it. Pants that are too long and bunch up over the shoes, shirts that pull across the chest or hang loose at the back, jackets that squeeze the shoulders or float around the waist. None of these details create immediate rejection, but all of them communicate a lack of control. A very clear example is pants that are too long. The hem stacks on the shoe, breaks the body's vertical line, and visually shortens the figure. The man looks shorter, heavier, less firm. It doesn't matter if the pants are expensive, new, or made of good fabric. When the length isn't properly resolved, the image loses authority. The body looks poorly grounded. Another common case is excess fabric for the sake of comfort. Oversized garments to feel looser, drooping shoulders, long sleeves, a torso with no shape. The clothing doesn't support the body, it dissolves it. The man appears softer, less present, less defined, and the social brain associates that lack of definition with insecurity, even if the person isn't insecure at all. The opposite also happens. Garments that are too tight, shirts that show tension, pants that pull when sitting down, jackets that don't allow natural movement. In this case, the image doesn't look firm. It looks uncomfortable. The body seems trapped by the clothes instead of supported by them. And visual discomfort translates into silent distrust. Poor fit is dangerous because it doesn't generate open criticism. No one will tell you, "Those clothes don't fit you well." People simply perceive you as someone less precise, less solid, less prepared to take on greater responsibilities. It's not direct rejection, it's a gradual loss of symbolic weight. This mistake appears very frequently in professional settings, interviews, important meetings, or first impressions. The man believes he's well-dressed because he chose the right garments. But the environment doesn't evaluate the garment alone, it evaluates how that garment organizes the body. And when it doesn't, the message gets diluted. The difference is immediate when the fit is correct. The same garment, properly adjusted to the body, organizes posture, defines the silhouette, and communicates control effortlessly. The body looks more stable, more present, more trustworthy. There's no need to draw attention. Presence appears on its own. A man with a strong image understands this. Before thinking about style, color, or trends, he solves the fit, because clothing isn't meant to hide the body, but to accompany it. When clothing accompanies the body becomes affirmed. And when the body's affirmed, respect appears. It's not about being tight, it's about being aligned. And when your body looks aligned, the environment perceives it even before you speak. Because being a man is an art at any age.